Hello dear students, how are you all? So I TAUSIF Ahmed welcome you once again on this wonderful platform which is Exampur, and today we are going to study pronoun through questions. Okay, so today we will see some spotting error questions, very important spotting error questions actually, which are based on pronoun. Okay, so as far SSC examinations are concerned, pronoun is a very important chapter because several questions are asked from this chapter. So today we will see pronoun through questions. Okay, so let's start with question number 1. So this is question number 1. One must work hard and save money because in years to come it is difficult to know how much money they may need to survive. Okay, so let's respect the timer and let's try to answer the questions in 40 seconds. Okay, we have 40 seconds to solve each question, so let's respect the timer also and try to solve this in 40 seconds. Time is moving. We have 40 seconds to solve a question. One must work hard and save money because in years to come it is difficult to know how much money they may need to survive. Okay, so first I'll tell you the answer and then I'll tell you the concept. Okay, the answer is in the third part. In the third part, you have to replace they by one. Okay, in place of they, one is required. And why one is required? Let me tell you the whole concept. See, if the subject of a sentence is one, it is followed by one as a subjective pronoun, one as an objective pronoun, means there is no change in subject and object, right? If the subject of a sentence is one, its further mentioned subject will remain one and its object will also be one. Its possessive will be once. Possessive will be once and oneself will be the reflexive pronoun. That means no other pronoun can replace the word one. Okay, you cannot write you in place of one, you cannot write they or he or she. No other word can be used to replace the word one. Okay, if the subject is one, it will always remain one in the sentence and its possessive is once. Okay, for example, if I write Ravi should sell his car. So here we have used the possessive word his because we have the subject Ravi here. If I write Reena should sell her car. Now in this sentence the word possessive word her is there because the subject is Reena. The same way, if I write one should sell one's car. So in the first sentence we have used the possessive his because subject was Ravi. In the second sentence we have used her because the subject was Reena. The same way, in the third sentence, we have used the possessive word once because the subject is one. If there were any other word like his or her or their in place of once, it would have been wrong. Okay, so one cannot be replaced by any other word. It will always remain one as a subjective pronoun, one as an objective, once as a possessive, and once oneself as a reflexive pronoun. Okay, one more thing, if the subject of a sentence is indefinite pronoun, if the subject of a sentence is indefinite pronoun, that is someone, somebody, no one, nobody, anyone, anybody, these are indefinite pronouns. Someone, somebody, no one, nobody, anyone, anybody, these are indefinite pronouns. So if the subject of a sentence is indefinite pronoun, its replacement as a subject would be they, them would be its replacement as an object, there is possessive, okay, and themselves is reflexive pronoun. No other word except they, them, their, themselves can replace an indefinite pronoun. Let me give you one example. If I write Ravi is my friend, Ravi is my friend and he is a good boy. Okay, in this sentence, the word he is used because of Ravi, because the replacement of Ravi as a subjective pronoun would be he. Okay, let's see the second example. Someone took my car, but he forgot to take the keys. Okay, now in this sentence again, we have used the word he. So in the first sentence, he represents Ravi, and it is absolutely correct because for Ravi we need a subjective pronoun he. But in the second sentence, he represents someone, and as we have already seen that to replace an indefinite pronoun we need they as a subject, them as an object, there as a possessive, and themselves as a reflexive pronoun. So he cannot be used to replace someone. So here the use of he is wrong, and in place of he, they is required. In place of he, they is required. So these are two important rules of pronoun. If the subject is one, you should use one as a subject, one as an object, once as a possessive pronoun, and these are the rules of indefinite pronoun. Now let's go back to the question. In this question, the subject was one. In this sentence, the subject was one. So if the subject of a sentence is one, it cannot be replaced by any other word except one. Okay, but in this sentence we can see clearly that they is used to replace one, which is wrong because no other word except one can replace the word when. So in place of they, one is required. Okay, so they will be replaced by one. Okay, they will be replaced by one. This was the error in the sentence. Clear? If you have any doubt, feel free to ask me anytime. Okay, now the next question. 40 seconds. My brother and his wife were caught in the storm on her way home last night. Pronoun is a very obvious chapter in SSC examinations. Okay, in SSC examination, if you solve a previous year question, you will see multiple questions have been asked repeatedly in SSC examinations. My brother and his wife were caught in the storm on her way home last night. See, here the subject is plural, because I am not talking about my brother only. With my brother, his wife is also there, so two persons are there. That means subject is plural. And for plural subject we need to use there as its possessive. Okay, but here we have used her. Her represent only his wife. Okay, her represent only his wife, but only his wife is not there. My brother is also there, so my brother and his wife, two subjects are there. That means the subject is plural, and for plural subject we need there. So in place of her we need there. Okay, now the next question number 3. Both Mohan and her sister took her medicine before going to bed. This is the same concept as we have seen in the second sentence. We have both Mohan and her sister took her medicine before going to bed. So there are two errors that needs to be rectified. First error, both Mohan and in place of her we have to use his. Okay, both Mohan and his sister, and the second error is in place of her we have to use there. Okay, this word has to be replaced because we are talking about Mohan's sister. So if it is Mohan's sister, we cannot use her, we have to use his sister. And since we have plural subject, because two persons are there, Mohan and his sister, two persons are there, we cannot use her or his. Okay, because Mohan is also there and his sister is also there, that's why we have to use there. Okay, now the next question number 4. Now solve this. It is sometimes difficult for one to imagine what might happen when you grow old. It is sometimes difficult for one to imagine what might happen when you grow old. It is sometimes difficult for one to imagine what might happen when you grow old. See, in this sentence we have one as the subject. It is sometimes difficult for one, so one is the subject. And as I told you in the first sentence, first question, that one as a subject cannot be replaced by any other word except one. You cannot use he or she or it or they in place of one. So one cannot be replaced by any other word except one. But when you read this sentence, it is sometimes difficult to imagine what might happen when you grow old. So if we are talking about one, you cannot use the word you, because this sentence shows that you has been used in place of one, and as we know that one cannot be replaced by any other word. So here the use of you is wrong. In place of you, one is required. So the sentence would be, it is sometimes difficult for one to imagine what might happen when one grow old. It is sometimes difficult for one to imagine what might happen when one grow old. Okay. Now the next question, question number 5. Neither my parents nor my sister brought much luggage with them. What is the error in this sentence? Try to solve the question in given time. Okay. So in this sentence, remember one thing, that when two subjects are joined by neither and nor, the possessive, the object would be according to the second subject. Okay. So neither my parents nor my sister brought much luggage with, in place of them we have to use her, because when two subjects are joined by neither nor, the verb and the object and the possessive are according to the nearest subject. Let me give you one example. If I write neither students nor their teacher is oblique are doing his oblique their work. Okay. So in this sentence, this is possessive, and this is verb. Okay. As we all know that is singular, are is plural. Okay. So now after neither we have a plural subject, students, this is plural, and after nor we have singular subject, their teacher. Okay. So one subject is plural and second subject is singular. Now the rule is that when two subjects are joined by neither nor or either or, the second subject is the main subject and the verb and the possessive would be according to the second subject. So here the teacher is singular. Since the teacher is singular, we cannot use are, we have to use is, right? And the possessive would not be there, it would be his, because when two subjects are joined by neither nor, we don't have to worry about the first subject, the verb, the possessive and the object. All the other pronouns would be according to the nearest subject, and that is after nor. So here the use of is correct, are is wrong, and his is correct. The same way in this sentence, after neither, parents is there, but we should not worry about parents, because the real subject is after nor, that is my sister, and if my sister is there, you cannot use them, you have to use her. Clear? Let's see the next sentence. Question number 6. Question number 6. Solve this in 50 seconds. Solve this in 50 seconds. Either Samir or his friends will have to bring his car tomorrow. See, this is the same rule. After either we have Samir, it is singular, and after or we have his friends, which is plural. Okay, so when two subjects are joined by either or neither nor, the nearest subject is the main subject, and the verb, the possessive and the object would always be according to the nearest subject. So as we can see it clearly that the nearest subject is friends, so the possessive and all other words will be according to my friends. So here in place of his we have to use their car. The possessive would be according to friends, and friends is plural, that's why we have to use their as possessive. Okay, next. The boys and their father could not find his way home through the jungle. The boys and their father couldn't find his way home through the jungle. In this sentence, subject is plural because we have the boys and their father and they are joined by and. So when two subjects are joined by and, they are considered plural. Okay, because boys are there and their father is also there. Okay, so the subject is plural, and since the subject is plural, we cannot use possessive his. In place of his we need to use their. Okay, we need to use their. Sanjeev, fathers will not be used because a person can have more than one sons. Okay, so if here we have used boys, it doesn't mean that they have separate fathers. Okay, so the word father is absolutely correct. Next question. You might have problems getting a ticket at the station, but one can always book in advance. This is a very important question, and such types of questions are often asked in SSC examination. Okay, you might have problems getting a ticket at the station, but one can always book in advance. See, as I told you that one cannot be replaced by any other word, the same way you cannot be replaced by any other word except you. Okay, so here we have the subject you. You might have problems. There is no error in the first part. It is absolutely correct. You might have problems getting a ticket at the station. Second part is also clear. There is no error in second part as well. You might have problems getting a ticket at the station, but one can always book in advance. So here we have one. Now, where did this word one come from? For example, if you have Ravi as the subject, can you use she? She cannot be used, because if the subject is Ravi, you have to use he. The same way, if the subject is you, how can you use one in place of you? As the word one cannot be replaced by any other word except one, the same is the case with you. You cannot be replaced by any other word except you. So if the main subject of this sentence is you, we have to use the same word in the other part of the subject. So you will replace one. Okay? This is a really very important question. Such types of questions are often asked in examination. So try to understand the pattern of questions. What type of pattern is there in such questions? Okay. Now the next question. Question number 9. Now solve this. Joe and his friends had no alternative but to retrace his steps back through the plantation. Yes, so this is a very easy question. This is a very easy question. In this sentence, we have Joe and his friends. So the subject is plural. And if the subject is plural, we cannot use the word his. We have to use their. Okay. Joe and his friends had no alternative but to retrace their steps back through the plantation. Okay. Because the subject is plural, so you cannot use his or her or its. With plural subject, there comes as the possessive. Okay. Next question. If one doubts the truth of the man's accusation, we can always go to the police. Now solve this question. Very easy one. I have explained it twice and thrice in today's session. What is the error in this sentence? See, again, in this sentence we have the word one as a subject, and since the subject is the word one, it cannot be replaced by any other word except one. But what is there in this sentence? One doubts the truth of the man's accusation, we can. Now how can the word we replace the word one? Because as I told you, one cannot be replaced by any other word except one. So here in place of we have to use one. Okay, because one cannot be replaced by any other word except one. So here the answer would be one. Okay. Now question number 11. I do not like them who do not come forward to help the poor and deprived. I do not like them who do not come forward to help the poor and deprived. Okay. See, in this sentence, who is a relative pronoun, okay, and relative pronoun, with relative pronoun, them can never be used, okay, them can never be used with a relative pronoun. So in place of them we have to use those. I do not like those who do not come forward to help the poor and deprived. Okay, now the next question. I have never rebuked my son for his recklessness and he knows. I have never rebuked my son for his recklessness. This is a very important question. I am giving you 1 minute to solve this question. What is the error of in this sentence, please? See, in this sentence we have a verb knows, which is a transitive verb, and after transitive verb object is necessarily required. Okay, if I say I know, is this sentence correct? I know. When I say I know, the very first question that arises in your mind is, what do you know? Okay, if I tell you, yeah man, I know, you will ask, what do you know? So to complete the sentence I need to answer what. If I say I know, then I'll have to tell you, what do I know? So without answering the word what, it does not regarded, it is not regarded the complete as the complete sentence. So this, the answer of this what is direct object. So when the sentence reads he knows, the question is, what does he know? What does he know? And the answer of this question completes the sentence. The answer of this question completes the sentence. So I have never rebuked my son for his recklessness and he knows. What does he know? My son knows that I have never rebuked him. So my son knows this whole statement. So for a statement we use it as a pronoun. So after knows we have to use it. I have never rebuked my son for his recklessness and he knows it. He knows it. Okay. Now I have some information for you. Okay, I have some information for you. The information is that Exampur has launched a batch, a foundation batch for all SSC exams. Like all SSC exams means CGL, CHSL and CPO, particularly for these three exams. Okay, so we have launched a batch, all in one foundation batch, for SSC, CPO, CGL and CHL. Okay, and what are the salient features of this batch? You will get daily live classes on our app. Okay, these classes will only be on app. PDF notes, practice sessions, structured study plan and test series. Okay, so there are a lot of salient features in this batch. Daily live classes will be there, PDF notes, practice session, structured study plan and test series. Okay, and the price of this batch is 2,999. Okay, the price of this batch is 2,999, but you will get 60% off, right? the final price of this batch would be 11.99, but this offer is only till 21st August. Okay, this offer is only till 21st August. If you use the coupon code SSC60 till 21st August, you will get flat 60% discount, and the final price of this batch would be 11.99. Okay, so this batch is very structured, and it is going to be very helpful because all good teachers are there in the team. Okay, so this is foundation batch for all three major examinations conducted by SSC, which are CPO, CGL and CHLCL. And if you have any doubt, you can call this number 9873 111 552, or you can WhatsApp 844 811 6245. Okay, so if you have any doubt, feel free to call on this number or WhatsApp on this number, right? So for further thing, you need to download our Exampur app, right? So you can download our Exampur app, open your mobile Play Store, find Exampur Sarkari Naukri Prep, Exampur Sarkari Naukri Prep, install it, and after opening it, fill all the details and register it. Okay, so this is the way you can download the Exampur app, and this is a wonderful app where you will get demo as well. Once you download the app, go to the free classes section and you will get demo classes of all the subjects there. Okay, and once you have gone through the demo, you will understand that what type of content, what is the level of content that we are going to give you. Okay, and from 22nd August we will start this batch, so enroll as soon as possible. Okay, now let's solve the next question. The next question is, he lent me his car and told me to return before his birthday. Same question. Here we have a transitive verb, and as we all know that transitive verb is incomplete without a direct object, so we have to use direct object. So what I need to return? I need to return car, and the pronoun for car is it. So in place of return, we have to write return it. Okay, return it. A transitive verb is incomplete without its object. Okay, now the next question. Question number 14. MS Dhoni never loses his temper during the match. That is a proof of his wonderful sports spirit. Here in place of that we need to use which. Okay, in place of that we have to use which. Okay, now the next question. Rohit being a graduate, he is eligible for the post of chief engineer. Today in the morning class, 8 AM class, I discussed the same rule. Okay, here subject Rohit has been repeated in form of pronoun, so here the use of the word pronoun is wrong. Rohit being a graduate is eligible for the post of chief engineer. When a subject starts with a participle, subject cannot be repeated. Okay, subject will be there in any of the two clauses. Either you write Rohit here or you write Rohit here. Subject cannot be repeated. That's why the repeated one is wrong. Okay, now next question. You said that it was your problem and I said it was my too. See, my is a possessive adjective followed by noun. Okay, and if there is no noun, you cannot use possessive adjective. In place of possessive adjective, you have to use pronoun. Okay, and pronoun of my is mine. Okay, let me tell you. My, mine, your, yours, his, her, hers, their, theirs, our, ours, and its. Okay, so the above line, these words are possessive adjectives followed by noun, and these words are possessive pronoun never followed by noun. So the above line is possessive adjectives always followed by a noun, and the below ones are possessive pronouns which are never followed by a noun. So if there is noun, you have to use these words, and there is no noun, you have to use these words. And one more thing that you have to keep in mind, that this is a wrong word. In English language, there is nothing like your with an apostrophe s. The same way, there is no word in English like her with an apostrophe s. Wrong. In English language, these words have no meaning. You cannot use your, her with apostrophe. Okay, so this is also very important. So in the sentence, you said that it was your problem and I said it was my too. So here we have my, after which there is no noun, and since noun is not there, you cannot use my. In place of my, we need mine. In place of my, we need mine, because noun is not there. If it were noun in place of to, the word my would have been absolutely correct. Okay. Now question number 17. Ravi is one of those who will come forward to help you with all his strength. In place of his, we have to use there. Why there? Because this word his has been used with for those. Ravi is one of those who will come forward to help you with all their strength. So here the word his represents those, and since those is plural, you cannot use his. In place of his, there will come. Okay. Now the next one. Any of the two boys who live. See, a relative pronoun is followed by verb. A relative pronoun, in place of who I write relative pronoun. A relative pronoun is followed by verb which agrees with the subject right before the relative word. Okay, after relative pronoun, verb agrees with the subject right before, which is right before the relative pronoun. So here who is relative pronoun, after who we have a verb lives, and before who we have subject boys. And since boys is plural, you cannot use lives here. In place of lives, live will come. Okay. Any of the two boys who live here belongs to the royal family. Okay. Now the next sentence. Raju and you must complete your project report on time. the order of more than one pronouns is second, third and first person respectively. Okay, if there are more than one pronoun in a sentence, the correct order would be second person, then third person and then first person. Okay, so the second person is always placed before the third person, right? So in place of Raju and you, you and Raju is more appropriate. So replace Raju and you by you and Raju, because second person always comes first, then third person and then first person. Okay, last question for today. Your friends and you have to reach there on time. Same thing here. Your friends is third person and you is second person. So second person comes before the third person. The correct sequence would be you and your friends. This would be the correct order, you and your friends, because second person always comes first, then third person and then first person. Hope you understood all the concepts that I taught you today. Tomorrow we will continue the same topic. Tomorrow we will solve more 20 questions related to pronoun, which are based on the rules of pronoun. Okay, so this much for today, and keep studying. Feel free to ask anything if you need, right? And do download the app and practice these questions. See you tomorrow, same time. Goodbye.